first one there. Please come over. Mukosha, yes, come. No, there is no mobile microphone. No. Okay, you can come. You can come. So the three ladies, please come. I think so. Please come. Obviously, your name and where you are. Come.
Good morning, Mr. President. Thank you for this opportunity. My question to you is on the health sector. Today you mentioned it briefly in your presentation. Oh, sorry. My name is Mukosha Fungajenga and I'm representing News Diggers. And my question to you today is on the health sector. You mentioned it briefly in your presentation and you did acknowledge that there are some challenges there. And I'll start firstly by commending you because after assuming office, you did employ about 12,000 health workers. I can't even imagine what the situation was like before those were employed. But then now the problem that remains is that there's lack of equipment in our hospitals, and people are dying in queues, even for a simple scan like an ultrasound scan. People are dying because there is no proper equipment to treat people at the cancer diseases hospital. So when are you going to give these health workers that you hired the essential tools that they need to carry out their duties? Because there's a lot of misery, people are dying unnecessarily, and it's leaving a lot of families depressed because they know for sure that not enough was done to save their loved ones. And maybe also, if I can briefly just sneak this in, I would just like to mention that we... Okay.
Good morning, Mr. President. My name is Priska Lumingo from Millennium Radio and TV. First of all, it is commendable that government is offering an enticing price to the farmers when it comes to maize. But Your Excellency, yesterday, the Food Reserve Agency also announced to say they will not be buying soybeans from the farmers. What is it that how is government going to help the farmers who have invested so much into soybeans farming, considering that they consider FRA as a bigger market, cause the private sector exploit them? How are you going to help the farmers?
Good afternoon, Mr. President. My name is Virginia Chilongo from Muvi TV. Mr. President, there is a growing concern among members of the public that you tend to speak a lot of rhetoric. An example is that since taking office, you have visited the Copper Belt province on multiple occasions, addressed various sections such as miners, truck drivers, crossing into the DRC. However, their plight remains the same. You have also spoken about the cost of living, non-availability of essential drugs in health centers, and addressing bureaucracy for citizens to have easier access to government or public services. But citizens continue to complain that you merely speak without action. My question to you, Mr. President, is that how do you respond to such assertions? I thank you.
Okay, thanks. Mr. President, you can take these three for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to the three ladies. Health sector equipment lacking, cancer diseases. I think I touched on that. So we are in agreement. The issue, remember I also said that the Ministry of Health has received a lot more money than ever before. Our job now is to make sure that we prioritize that money, buy the equipment for the different requirements. Some of the equipment requires repair, just repair. I think the issue is that we are together. In fact, I singled out the ministry myself. So we agreed. There's no issue. I think it's to expedite, to resolve those issues, to help improve service delivery. I also talked about the pilferage going on there, and citizens, when actions are taken, people are removed, because it's a cousin of yours, don't complain. The idea is to improve service delivery. There's no cousinship there. There is no uncle there. What is there is to improve health service delivery to the people of Zambia. But you are the same people, when you see changes are made, then you start running social media stories that people are being victimized. There's no victimization there. If you call it victimization, we shall victimize more people in order to improve service delivery to the people of Zambia. I don't call it victimization, but if you call it victimization, if what requires to be done, it means removing people. So don't complain when that is done, because you know the person who has been removed. This is not the answer to the question. It's the answer to the question from the questioner for the people of Zambia. So Funga is not directed at you. You're just a message of what people are saying. So we agreed there. So we have to do a bit more. And I think sometimes we have to be a little bit stiffer. But you should see some changes there. It's a build-up of a problem of a long time. You know, in the previous government, there were lots of issues in health, expired drugs. Health became a money spinner, became a money laundering, ministry. So what we haven't done is a wholesale removal of people. I know some of UPND members are complaining a lot, but we're also aware that we are responsible to the citizens. And that's why we're singling out, slowly but sure, but we can pick speed, I agree with you. And we should speak speed, because people need delivery of services. We are also trying to work, we're working on increased production of drugs, for example, locally. Again, in our quest for value addition. It's very important. So, but we get your message loud and clear. We are aligned there, completely aligned. Maize price has gone up. Soybeans, FRA is not buying. And the consequence is that the growers will be left to what you call sabotage from private buyers. I did indicate earlier that one of our jobs is to work with the private sector, because government alone cannot buy all the maize. Even when you are saying maize is okay, government will not buy all the maize. Please understand that. I think the projection they've given is 500,000 tons. That's what I saw in the FRA message. So it means there are other buyers and who are private sector. So private sector and government must work together as one. So it's a package. So is the soybeans. Most of the handlers, the processors of soybeans are private sector. It's not government. I think the FRA is trying by all means to focus on strategic, crop for food security. Yes, soybeans is important, but we believe that in our conversations with the private sector, public-private dialogue platform, we can deal with the decency in the marketing arrangements, in the pricing, in the manner that we are dealing with maize. But soybeans is important. It's a commercial crop to some extent as well. Lots of processing and stock feed, of course, human consumption. So, but it's not to say we are neglecting them. But imagine if FRA was buying everything, including cassava, including groundnuts, including millet, including tomatoes, including mangoes. What would FRA become? Let us allow the private sector to do its part. As government does its part, but together we should address growth of production, improved producer prices to encourage more production. And the story goes on. But we also want processing. Who is processing raw production of our food? Even middlemen. Who is the key miller? It's not the government. Government does national service, yes. But the big millers are all private. But we have to work with each other. I think that's the message. I touched on it earlier. Speak rhetoric. I can connect what you are saying to what is being written on certain platforms. I can draw a particular connection. But that's okay. That is fine. What I've demonstrated to you today is not rhetoric. NAPS at 20% is not rhetoric. But honestly, my dear sister, that's not rhetoric, but it's what you read on social media from certain media, is that nothing is going on in this country. The country is worse than the election. But that chart there tells you are lying. Whoever is arguing on that basis, the test of the pudding is in the eating. There is a pudding there. Numbers don't lie.